Hello, this is Brian again. So I'm on the Red Ridge area now. If I remember correctly, that should be the name of it. Red Ridge Trail or something like that. Well, so I'm on the other side of the canyon. I know I didn't shoot a lot of video on the way up. I shot a little bit. However, right near where some of the sandstone formations start popping up again. This side you get some really good dramatic slot canyons and little ravines, chock full of this sandstone. So this is where the geology becomes even more interesting. I shot a couple spotlight videos. That's kind of why I didn't film the entire hike up here. And now we've come to another species of sage. It's this Salvia clevelandi, and I didn't catch it in bloom. Oh wow, that's not bloomed. It hasn't bloomed yet. That's Cleveland sage. I was expecting it to bloom by now. Usually by May, those things are blooming. Seen it a couple other times, and it's quite a spectacle. Quite a sight to see Cleveland sage in bloom. It's not extremely common. That's the only specimen I've really seen so far today. Seeing lots of bush rue or spice bush. Now I'm on this ridge trail that I was talking about earlier. I was over yonder on the other side when I was on the other side. So this is, you kind of get the power line cutting through here, but it's a pretty nice ridge over here. Very flat trail. Really see some cool stuff over here. I do remember this first time I was here. It's a beautiful trail. Nice little ridgeline woodland of Torrey pine over here. Beautiful over here, I'll tell you that. Remember correctly, there were some decent scrub oak specimens. And there were also some other, I think there were some bigger manzanitas along here. So this video might be short. Let's see. Let's take a look at this viewpoint. Okay. Now, looking down here, I've seen this viewpoint before. This is a north-facing slope. This is where the chaparral gets thick. Chaparral turns into almost tree-sized plants. Right down there, got some large scrub oaks. These are almost tree-sized scrub oaks. These are probably Quercus acutidens. So I always remember coming up to this viewpoint, very impressed with these plants here. So it looks like we have Quercus acutidens, maybe Berbertifolia, a lot of San Diego chamise. It's almost like a forest right there. So here we are in this beautiful ridge right here, called Red Ridge. I think that's the name of it. I keep thinking that. I think that's really the name of it. But walk along this ridge here. Definitely wanted to get footage of this area too, because you get this little Torrey pine woodland here. Almost get a slight feeling of being in the Angeles National Forest sometimes with the coulter pines, but yeah, here's that scrub oak again. Much larger leaves. I really think this is Quercus acutidens. They call it Torrey's hybrid oak. You can see it female flowers. These will become the acorns. Some more Del Mar manzanita. It's a fantastic ridge right here. Beautiful spot. I can definitely see another spotlight episode or two coming up very soon. Once this video's done, I think I'm gonna switch into spotlight mode. This will probably be my last major clip of the original hike. But look at this. Oh, Mojave yucca. Yucca scadigera. It's in bloom. Nice. Let's see, blooms on the Mojave yucca. More rock rose. Oh, and then we got bush poppy over here. Dendromicon rigida. Look at that. Yep. Blooming down here, still pretty good. These are probably still blooming in the mountains too. You have to do a spotlight video on that. But these coastal bluffs are beautiful over here. Here's another perspective of it right here. Toyon, scrub oaks. Wow, incredible. A little oak forest in there. Good views over here. Alright. I'm going to start panning out a little bit more, because now I can point out some of the local landmarks here. Okay, right there is Black Mountain, 1,552 feet, by Rancho Penasquitos. That one there is Woodson Mountain, 2,894 feet, near Powell and Ramona. And then, you can't see in the viewfinder that well, but Iron Mountain's over here, 2,696 feet. That's Iron Mountain. So the base of the marine layer is up a little bit. Earlier was a little bit lower, but the clouds have lifted up a little bit. So the marine layer is above 3,000 feet. Kind of interesting. Let's zoom back to normal zoom. There we go. Does remind me a little bit of parts of the Angeles National Forest with the widely spaced conifers and of course the chaparral. But of course this is coastal, not inland mountain. Maybe about 300 to 400 feet above sea level here, as opposed to 5,000 to 6,000 feet. But just the kind of vibe kind of reminds me a little bit of it. Like around Chilao, Mount Hillier. We're in the Angeles National Forest where the trees are open. The open coulter pine woodland up there. It's kind of reminds me of. It's so beautiful here. Torrey pines are awesome. I love seeing these trees. This bush roo's taller than me. Wow. That's interesting. Here's a really old bush roo. Wow. It's a big one. Another Neoridium demosum. This one's got some age to it. Wow. I don't usually see them get quite this large. Wow. Another Mission Manzanita. Salacocus bicolor. Looking beautiful as usual. Lemonade sumac with its droops. Rus integrifolia. I love botanizing. Wherever I hike, I like botanizing. So that's why on my hiking videos, I may be off to some adventure on some mountain or something. But the plants, I'm interested in the plants, so you know I have to shoot video about those. And look at this. This is the other side of this outcrop again. We're like, oh, chamise down there, some Torrey pines. Of course, it's off limits to hikers down there. So, kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit, stepping off a little bit to get that bush poppy. So we're kind of at the edge of the woodland here. what I remember is, oh, we're talking about landmarks. That's looking out towards Mission Trails right there. You can see left is Fortuna Mountain, North Fortuna, and on the right the tallest peak. The tallest peak is Cowles Mountain, C-O-W-L-E-S. One of the most popular hiking destinations in San Diego County. That's out by Santee. Over there, that ridge right there, is Soledad Mountain. It's an 822-foot promontory overlooking La Jolla. Been up there a lot of times as a kid. Father would take me up there. We would go hang out by the cross on its eastern summit, and the actual summit is in an area of radio towers, the actual 822-foot peak high point. You can get close to it by scrambling up an embankment without too much issue with private property, but to get inside the actual radio installment is, I think, supposed to be prohibited. I think we're coming close to the end of this trail here. So we've got these little slot canyons and little narrow ravines. You can see Torrey Pines like to take root down there. Water collects over there. So I think we're getting pretty close to the end of the hikeable portion. I know I've been pretty far out on this outcrop before, but I think once we get over to this spot here, I think it's pretty much a done deal. This is about as far as I'm going to take it. So you get this reddish sandstone here, and then it starts turning grayer and blonder and grayer. You start getting over towards the homes over there. So the color's a little bit different. It's quite interesting. This is basically the end of the line right here. Start dropping down and probably have some class 3 rock scrambling to do, which I don't think they're really too keen on people doing that here. And I'm not in the mood for that. But you can see there's the main canyon. Down there is closer to where the Mar Scenic Trail leads out to the little neighborhood on Mar Scenic Parkway. That's the street I'm parked on, called Mar Scenic Parkway. You can get right off of Carmel Valley Road, which goes perpendicular to it. What I basically do is I get off on Interstate 5 at the Carmel Valley Road / 56 freeway, and then I turn right to go on Carmel Valley Road and follow it through some of the ritzier parts of Del Mar, and then you hook a right onto Del Mar Scenic Drive, and you go up and you just drive up that until you get to the little neighborhood access trailhead. And that's the only way I've ever accessed this park. I've never accessed it from some of those other spots that we saw earlier, but I imagine those would be interesting. But I've pretty much seen all of this, as far as I know. I've pretty much seen all of this park now. For the most part, I've seen most of it before coming here, but I saw a little bit more of it today than I did in previous times, so pretty comprehensive in my exploration of the trail system here. And this is something I could definitely see myself coming back to time and time again, because it's an exquisitely beautiful area. Yeah, it must have been a benchmark here. Huh, interesting. But this is a place I see myself coming back to time and time again, because it is incredibly beautiful here. There's just so much to see. So much to see in such a small area. The trail system here is definitely smaller than the more extensive trails in the regular part of the preserve, but I think the diversity here, the plant diversity here, is very striking. Maybe a little bit more striking than the regular area, but the regular area has some stuff you won't see too much back here though, that I haven't seen yet. like San Diego mountain mahogany, Cercocarpus latifolius. I haven't seen that here yet, but I've seen it a couple times in the reserve. There might be some Shaw's agaves over there, agave Shayi, variety Shayi. That might be over there. But pretty much covered most of this. There's where the DAR trail is, Daughters of the American Revolution. The Mar Scenic Trail cuts up the canyon, then you branch off right near the entrance. You can start taking the Margaret Fleming Trail if you veer to the right. If you veer to the left, you're going up the Mar Scenic Trail. And here you have it. Incredibly beautiful place to visit. Beautiful place. So this is pretty much going to do it for me. I pretty much covered a nice chunk of this park. I mean, I left out a little bit of the Margaret Fleming Trail because it was getting kind of crowded and stuff. But the scenery along the areas is pretty much similar to when I was talking about, looking at these some of these shrubs that were kind of stunted before we started getting into the lusher portion on the ridge here. So I would say that I feel that I've been able to give a pretty comprehensive look at this area. Hope you enjoyed the video, and now I'm going to conserve some memory space so I can get into more spotlight on shrubs and spotlight on plants videos. So thanks for watching the series. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this inspires you to come out here and explore Torrey Pines State Reserve, the less crowded extension area. Highly recommended. Beautiful smells, beautiful sights, good vibes, fresh air, cooling breeze. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next hiking adventure.